mirrored clans, but the spawn won't be mirrored, you know? Like the wolf won't have the same spawn as the wolf of the other team. So most of the top teams basically just stop the game at the start, share their position, because it's known anyway if it's like a full balanced map, right? You know exactly where the wolf is. It's basically you could see that as a downside, but it just works way fairer than if it would go different. So they just check out if the positions are right, and if they are, they proceed with the game, just to prevent imbalance issues. I think that's really cool. Like there were no ruling or something. The only rule that were really stated there were that the team could reconnect up to 2 minutes into the game because of, I don't know, generation issues or anything. If I know that they shouldn't do that all too often, but in the end this tournament were 40 teams and 40 players, so most of the things were okay if the teams were both okay with it. Yeah. What should I give some? Why should I give out some ruling if teams would like to have it a little bit different and try something? That of course always just go for something else, but that of course always keeps in that that both teams are okay with it. If one team said no, I usually just state it to the normal ruling. But I really like that they keep up the spawning here, like have the same spawning, therefore restart, rather than having the tournament going like that, you know? Sometimes there will be imbalanced spawns, and that is then basically, yeah, making the game unfun. Not only for one of the teams, but also for both of the teams. Because it could be a very advantageous spawn for the other wolf. For example, like you have one wolf with an early rune and a lore stone on it, maybe even the iron on it, and the other wolf just gets no rune. So the one wolf has a clear advantage, therefore also the team. And yeah, would most likely be a rolling. Like the closer the skill level is, the clearer the minor differences get, and if you then get that much of an advantage, it is very likely that you would just win the game out of that, and that also wouldn't be really nice to watch. So also in the end, also really nice for us right here to see the best games possible. And we have two really strong teams here. Just to explain before, we have a best of 5 going around here in the grand finals. So Kaju and Moses are the winners of the top bracket, right? Yeah, I think I got that right. So they're the winners of the top bracket. Yeah, definitely got that right. That means they're going with a 1-0 lead into this best of 5 already. So there's a maximum of 4 games that could be played. Mo and Kajur basically just need to win 2 games to go on being the winner of the tournament. And Cap and Absolent would need to win 3 games to win the tournament. It's a little bit of an advantage for the players of the upper bracket because they have never lost the series in the tournament right here. Like most likely they could also lose a game in the best of 3, for example, but they never have lost the whole series, and therefore they should get a little bit of an advantage. When you come from the losers bracket, like Absolent and Cat, you have lost 1 game in the starting area where we made it like loser and winners bracket, because oftentimes we start with best of 1s, you know, and in best of 1s it's definitely not guaranteed that the better team wins all of the time, and we want to assure that as much as possible, of course. I really liked it. He just microed the warrior there like 3 or 5 times and didn't die. That were really juicy. Sorry, I couldn't show it to you in the full glory. But he had this warrior with like 10% HP, and he still got like 3 or 4 hits in at least, like without getting damage from the wolf at all. That were hoggers, one might say. Really, really nice. Should we examine the spawns a little bit? Both are already on military maps, so we gotta trust our eyes right here. We have no treasure for the wolf, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no treasure for the wolf. That means also for cat. Oh no, Absolent is the wolf. Also Absolent will have no treasure available, which oftentimes will lead in you just clearing out a little bit with one warrior. First warrior doesn't cost you anything, so a legit way to go about it, I guess. Nope, they're definitely not playing on update. This is recorded gameplay, they played that before. That would have been a little bit weird to play the whole tournament on one patch and now change over. So yeah. Happily still playing on the old one. Not that I wouldn't like the new update, didn't check it out too much yet. Nice, nice. More one warrior clearing over here. Not too close to a Zerker, gotta say. But how much do you really need a Zerker when everything is cleared already? I guess you still want it, right? You just don't need it in before end of the winter. But there's still stuff to clear. He's getting that up. Just getting his gold rolling. I would almost call that a little bit too late, but who am I? Who am I to rate that? Let's take a little bit of a look over to the other team. We don't see... Oh, we are on the scroll. Okay, okay. I just thought, man, we don't see a dock at all, and you got 200 gold? That looking good. But they're also, like, the wolf on the lore of cat is still alive. But he has dock up already. I feel like Absolent will pop out as Zerker pretty soon. Which is not super early. I don't know. You want your squirrel to really have some lore, right? But you don't have the treasure, so the Zerker gotta come a little bit later. Now going over to clear out the lore. Cat must already really be waiting for that. Around 50 lore for him. Into the second lore, of course. I can tell you that... I think I can tell you, yeah. Because you're just picking a second lore. Not the best comparison, since Kajur is the wolf. Also already has a dock up. So likely to be a little bit better in lore. Can't tell you what Moses lore is right now. Have the first stove going up. I think this really feels like the way to go with Scroll, like skipping the War Chief lore for as long as possible. And just have a clear clan. Should obviously always be the go to have one clear clan and one more economic clan around. But it always felt a little bit bad to be forced to get the War Chief in the early game to clear out yourself a little bit. Because it's hard to legitimize warriors if you have a lore that basically gives you a free War Chief that can't clear out all the stuff around you. It feels harsh to then throw away villagers for what essentially would be free. One lore isn't free, I'm aware of that. And you can pretty much skip the whole army tree for a pretty long time if you would really want to do that. Especially in more high level games where everything's a little bit more aggressive. You're not all too forced to yeah, do that. Are we on the left screen? Let's check here. Kajur just got his Zerker out and is clearing stuff. So we're also rolling here. I don't know how much. Oh my holy! That's free wolf. With a warrior and berserker, that's kind of an easy clear though. You only get 10% attack reduction in winter, anyway. If you are on your own tiles. It's 30 if you're outside of your tiles. That's not all too bad. But in the end, did that really hurt him that much? Getting attacked by triple wolves? If he would have cleared earlier, that wouldn't have happened, but does it hurt a wolf if he's attacked by 3 wolves? Or is that basically just like not straight up 45 food? Because you're also gonna get damaged and heal your Zerker. So you gotta deduct a little bit of food for that. But basically you're going out net positive, right? You would have a better eco if you would have gotten attacked by those wolves. As if you wouldn't have. Like, there were definitely times where wolves kept their private wolf cave somewhere in the corner. Just to have the wolves attack again and again. It's just so inconsistent, you know? If you would have like one tower on there, and you could say, okay, the wolves would consistently attack, that would be one kind of food source, right? It's just like sometimes you don't get attacked for ages. Then it's hard to justify something like that, because the tower is costing a hefty amount of money throughout the year. And if that's like basically only used to produce food out of wolf attacks, not that matter. Not that matter. Definitely gotta be way more reliable. And just having the wolves right next to your tile oftentimes will lead in them attacking your villagers when you're outside your territory, right? So at some point you just gotta go for it then, if you just want. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, even the wolf doesn't really want to have his villagers low, of course. Even though you can cycle them pretty easily. It would still be better if you just don't need to do that. And have more villagers. You can clear this, yes. Whew. A lot of bears also on the map. A lot of bears for him on the map. Feels like in general a pretty good wolf map beside of no treasures for the wolf. Which is always a little bit suboptimal. A little bit suboptimal. Saw how rather late the Zerkers would come out with ruin and an easily cleared iron. That would be like 2 or 3 months earlier. But in the end, can you really complain if you get that many bears? I am not sure. I'm not sure. He's also clearing everything out. Probably also got his fair share of bears already. Absolent, of course, that is. Cat most likely. Will be a little bit of a path there. Dune on 160, that must be the 4th lore for him. It should be recruitment then, because most of the players go for economics first, which I think is really reasonable. Because if you do some early meals, you already get a little bit of bonus gold production on top of that. And that basically can justify you to not go for a dock all too early, which is basically 2 more villagers going for food and enabling you to get more meals. So it really evens up. I think it's pretty nice to do stuff like that. And it will also give you lore. Like, it's basically, it feels like you are on sailors even though you don't have a single sailor. So if you don't see any gold production on a scroll, that usually means they went economics first. And if they don't go straight for cooking mastery, I think, the tier 4 lore for meals, that will basically give you 1 level higher of meal every time you do one. So if you have a +3 meal by default, it will then be a +5 meal by default, like, you know, like with the lore. That's not that much default anymore, but I think you know what I mean. Will be a little bit higher. And like this, you also get access to the real fat meals. Like, for example, if you have the +5 meal already and you still power it up with bonus ingredients, then you will end up with a +7 ratatouille, which is just insane. Gotta be interesting what they did to the second. There we go. Oh, there. So just set the music out. Realized that. They changed a little bit about the wheels with the upgrade, with the recent update. Gonna be interesting what they did right there. They're looking good on the meals. Next one going out right now. Cooking. Kajur and Moses already eating. This see Kajur just going for Spoils of War. I think his upgrade is not finished yet. But usually it shouldn't take too long anymore. Okay. Running back somewhere else. Doesn't want to take too much damage from the Draugr, or he's actually waiting for the upgrade to finish. That might be it. Maybe just felt he can't clear it out completely right now. It can't be the upgrade, he didn't finish it yet. It must be that he felt Igil just doesn't have enough health. And it doesn't make much sense to engage and disengage all too often into ranged Draugrs. Yeah, because they're ranged basically. Not easy to dodge damage from them. Hey Judson, I don't know. Need to adapt, I guess. Northgard changed a lot from how it were. Yeah, when it released. Not too bad, I would say. Not too bad. I'm honest, I don't like every change that happened since then, but it's always about the great picture, right? Did that like a year ago or something already? I don't know what the topic there were. I can definitely remember saying that already. That if you look at Northgard how it released, like check one ultra old video for me. Better turn off the sound because I think my sound were way worse, even though that still could be way better than right now. And I had a lot more ums in there, even though I'm still doing a lot right now. But just check the gameplay, you know. So much changed from back then to now. And yeah, a lot of stuff make the game a lot more interesting. For example, military experience. I really love how the teams are playing around that and how we can see that Absolent is just going for the Jotnar, even though it's pretty hard to micro them. Try that out. It's not as easy as it looks, but it's actually not super duper hard, so you can definitely do that. A good way to get rid of the giants, even though you don't have a lot of axe throws. But Kajur isn't having that, so he's jumping in. But I really like how this fighting around the giants evolved more and more, just for the military experience, you know? That's stuff we didn't really see before in Northgard. Yeah, you gotta tune it down, yours, man. You gotta tune it down. You can't always run hot. You need to chill down. So one farmer low for Kajur there. He can't really leave. I think Absolent has a few more axe throwers down there. We can go over here, but Cat is obviously building camps right now, mostly. No, there. Yeah, there's a camp. So you can't really see. Ah, there we go. It's going for it. It's going for it. Oh. Quite a back and forward down there. We're gonna check back on that situation. Right now I can see Absolent going a little bit away. Well, he's still close. He's pulling the giants again. Kujur is not watching right now, I can tell you that much. But there's only one giant now. I think Absolent is in a pretty good position to just take the giant right now. There's more and more access coming in. Ah, maybe he isn't. Maybe he isn't. 7 access plus chief for Kujur. But he's pulling again. And it's a good moment in my opinion. More access from Kujur. Now up to 10. He's not having it. There's a little batch of access coming from Kujur towards this. They don't have Absolent scouted yet though. Their vision ends at the giant tile. Let's jump over here because Kujur is directly involved in this fight. And Moses is also coming in. Pulling it with his war chief. And I think these numbers are a little too high for Absolent right now. He's there with like 8. But they're engaging. They're taking the fight. Because you're just ignoring the giant for now, trying to get as many X kills as possible, but therefore taking a lot of damage from the giant. Still 10 X throws though. They don't want to give up the giant here. Definitely not. With a lot of dancing here. X's are pulling in again. Ooh. Dance is continuing though. Ay, nobody wants to give up this giant. There's a new one spawning. New giant spawned, the situation cooled down like that. I don't think that much. The stakes are just not as high right now. You can go back to your base for 1 second, do stuff without thinking, okay, they could have cleared out this giants in a few seconds. You don't need to have full focus anymore. We have a little bit of a pause over here. Let's see. Let's see. Jump over to this one. I can check out here how long this one will go. Around a minute. Around a minute of pause, then we're jumping in again. Don't think that will be all too bad. I love the giant fight right now. Yeah, it's already going on again. Fighting around the giant there, trying to get the military experience. So, they're going in more. Absolent doesn't want to give up this low giant there, I'm pretty sure. But giving up the full life one is also not the way. Or is it? Trying to get it here. Oh no, 3 X damage rather. Which I don't think is a bad decision. But losing an X right there. Let's go over here. Because Kujur just a little bit more invested in this fight than Cat is. Cat gotta get up his eco. To pump out warriors this year. There's a new giant spawning. Always when there's no fight on the tile for a little bit of a while, there will be a new giant spawning. I think up to 3. Yeah, Judson, they're also turned off for the tournament. Well, they're not turned off, but I will refund ya. As soon as I can. That's the third giant. Okay. Good amount of axe throwers there. And Kajur got the kill over there. That's a steal. That's a steal if I've ever seen one. The problem is they still don't see their base. They still don't see their base. I'm pretty sure the scouts must be on the way. I don't know how worthy it is to see the other tiles right now, because you're fighting about the giants regardless. But if you win the fight against them, you could then follow it up. Right now you can't really. But like I said, it's not that much of a difference, because you're fighting about the giants, like, over the giants. Definitely, like whatever you do. And maybe they think, okay, we rather not scout. That's a little bit of eco that you lose, that is just running around scouting other tiles. Which has its value in its own kind, of course, but doesn't give you anything directly, no gold or anything. But I think Epsilon's army numbers are going up. But yeah, if you win the fight, you might snowball the game. Just scout afterwards then. This has the potential to be a huge fight here. And I think it is. You got it? Excellent. Excellent, got the giants over there. This is a good win for him there. Both lost. I think Azure lost more army here than Epsilon, honestly. Cat, not really with huge army invested here. Like 2 warriors and a war chief. That doesn't seem like all too crazy. He has a little bit more gold banked up, so he could pull more warriors at any time. But I don't think this is the cutthroat full attack from them right now. But Kajur now with 9 axe throwers. But this is it. This is what he has. No more gold. I feel like this fight could be really deciding, and only of the numbers from Epsilon's axe throws, I've got the feeling that they have the upper hand right here. This looks rough for Moses and Kajur over here. It were a great fight over the giants there. And I had the feeling that the team that would go out with like more army out of this fight, and the giants also on top of that, of course. I also had a feeling that maybe one team will not focus on the giants that much. Just go for the other army. Don't get the giants, but have enough army to just overwhelm the opponent. But we saw them also getting the giants here and going out with a little bit more army, so this must be just a great situation for them. Also the confidence boost you get from winning that thing that you were fighting about over with the other team for such a long time. It gives you a little bit of a confidence boost that maybe lets you engage into fights that you can theoretically win with good micro, but you sometimes don't take, because you feel like, but if I don't micro right. Okay, that's a Draugr. Like, Kajur just gets attacked by a Draugr over there. Oh, that's a very low chief going in there. The army going up for Cat, by the way, already 6. Still more gold available to go at least up to 8, maybe even 9 if he wins a few more seconds. So, I think they are getting it together. Yeah, sailors are getting stopped here. More scouting. It feels like they want to get this game right now. We have a bunch of food for him. There's more army popping out. What can Kajur do? What can Moses do? We have 3 army for Kajur plus 250, so you will have like 6 or 7 X-throws, I'd say. Maybe 8, maybe 8. What is finishing right there? This is the upgrade for... Where did the X-throw upgrade? Pooh! Where? Oh no, that's the relic! I didn't see that coming. That's kind of neat, man. Wolf Clan relic for Kajur right here. Let's see if that will give him the upper hand over here. That definitely... So the army from him isn't super crazy, right? Like he will be on the single digit update army, maybe 10 army, so just double digit. But he will have 3 wolf on top of that. But is a little bit of meat and pretty easily to replace since you only pay food for them. So in the long run, I've really liked the wolves for the wolf clan here. In the short run, I feel like they need to survive this attack right now. And then the long run bonus might even pay out for them over here. With having the wolves. I still feel like Epsilon and Cat have a little bit of the upper hand right here, since they went out of the Jotnar fight a little bit more healthy. Which means they most likely just straight up have a little bit more army here. We see 5 X-throwers from a Kajur, which is not a lot, honestly. We still see a lot of yellow X-throwers there. Cat is... Now Moses is completely gone out of the fight, and we still see a lot of Cat warriors, so this must be GG, yeah. I think they just drove home the advantage there from the Giants. They didn't lose that many warriors. The micro there were pretty much on point. I think they might just have gotten a pretty good advantage out of that, and that carried them over into the next fights, just with always a little bit more warband. And if your opponent doesn't, like, if you don't do micro mistakes, or your opponent micros exceptionally well, you usually have a problem for the rest of the fights. Sorry, cool man Kenny, I didn't manage to win this.